Indeed, we will. Volwrath and Retrophile TV, game number 1 coming up very shortly.
All right, Retrophile coming in with the two-player strats.
And we've seen a few players employ that, including Aquas and Jackamus Wedge. It's starting to come on. It's starting to catch on a little bit with the community here. Here we go. They both have their Razor Shield. Opening drop is a Smart Bomb for Volwrath. He will wisely ignore it. Grenades for Retrophile. Likewise, will not pick it up. Retrophile, a little bit early with that Smart Bomb. I don't think he wanted to pick that up. Volwrath, a little early on his Smart Bomb as well. So it is going to be Retrophile by maybe half a second.
Yeah, we're basically neck and neck here. They both kind of made the same mistakes, so it kind of put them in the same spot.
Certainly. So let's see what happens with the opening drop here in Collect Power-Ups. Retrophile, a little bit of grenade left. That's something you don't see very often coming out of Arena 1, but that is what it is sometimes. Foot for Retrophile, a Smart Bomb for Volwrath. Nothing really to write home about for either. Grenades on the feet for Retrophile. More grenades. He's going to pick it up. He's trying to force a better drop, and some players will employ that strategy in this room.
Yeah, I personally take that maybe to 2 drops. Right then, Retrophile getting tagged by a piece of sniper shrapnel right there.
Yeah, the shrapnel dudes don't care what you're looking for. They're just going to try to pick you off at any possible juncture. Volwrath, though, the first one to get an orb.
Yeah, getting the orb, making nice use of it, walking out the door at 137. Retrophile still cleaning up the end of it. He's going to walk out at about a 44.
Yeah, it'll be about 7 seconds back, but the advantage to Volwrath because he does have that orb. Retrophile with a little bit of spreader left. Now there's an orb. That is a bad death because he's player 2. If he was player 1, they'd be fine. But there you go. And a lot of the player 1 wannabies are going to see it. See it? If you would have been player 1, you'd have had that orb.
Yeah, this game's all chance, so we will take the chance to laugh at each other when we can.
Exactly. Meanwhile, a Razor Shield for both players, just about the end of the room for Volwrath. He's going to be on a fair pace here, going into Eat My Shrapnel at about a 220. Rockets for Retrophile should be able to clear the rest of the foot soldiers. There's an orb for Retrophile, but he won't be able to get to because of that Razor Shield. But look at the smart, high IQ play there by Retrophile at the end. Got rid of the shield at the last possible moment and still got his orb.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to make it in time, but he proved me wrong. He was able to knock it off and get to it quick, and then it's, easy come, easy go.
Exactly. So Volwrath is going to have that advantage. The longer he keeps that orb, the bigger that lead he's going to build on Retrophile, provided that he doesn't get weapons. But Volwrath not really getting any weapons to complement that orb. Gets grenades, which of course he doesn't want. So Retrophile picking up a Razor Shield and a spreader to go with it. He would love to have an orb, but he does get Vitamin R of the rockets, so at least the weapons are flowing for Retrophile for the time being.
Yeah, if you can keep up with rockets and spreaders, it's definitely not as good as having the orb, but you can hold your own easily.
322 for Volwrath into the bonus room. More rockets for Retrophile. I'll tell you what, again, no orb, but he's been getting great weapon drops to at least keep himself in the ball game. Now he got one at the end of the room too, so that's good. Unfortunately, now he has a little bit of rockets left in that clip. He could take down at least one gunner with that.
Yeah, he's gonna have to walk in, keep control to not just spam the button, and then at least get that one fired shot accurately.
Smart Bomb, that's a great drop for Volwrath. Both gunners are now down. Has the orb still intact. Now he's got a spreader. Not the greatest location. And then he loses the orb.
Yeah, the best thing Retrophile could do even is wait till the orb lines up. So
now one gunner down. He could have gotten them both down, but unfortunately he was a little bit trigger happy with the last of those rockets, and now he loses the orb as well.
Yeah, if you time the orb where it's lined up and you can get a single fire shot, you could tap it once and tap it the other way on the other one.
Yeah, it's tough to do. Those frame perfect taps, I was never good at doing them, man.
Yeah, no, it's definitely nothing easy.
Volwrath first, 439. There's some rockets for Retrophile. As long as the rockets keep flowing, and more rockets for Retrophile. As long as the rockets keep on flowing, he can at least put himself in position to make it a ball game. But there's a spreader for Volwrath and another spreader, but that's in a horrible location. You will not get to that.
Yep, Retrophile getting clubbed down in the corner now, has an orb on his end.
For a moment, I thought he was going to dance his way to keeping that orb. That was close, but no cigar.
Yeah, he was really close to it. He dodged the first two, but the third one seemed to just clip it.
Meanwhile, one arm down for Volwrath with lobbers in hand. Both gunners are still attached. Retrophile needs a good opening drop here. There goes the second arm and one of the gunners for Volwrath. It'd be possible for Volwrath if he can have a good Mutoid Man fight, even if he loses. But look at this. Spreader in a prime location. Unfortunately, Mutoid Man going away from him a little bit, so he won't be able to get as much Spreader in as he would like, so he's going to switch tactics.
Yeah, he backed off of that. It was probably the smarter move.
I don't know if... No, I don't think Retrophile is going to get to it, especially with that block. He had a little too much distance.
Yeah, Mutoid Man made sure of that. He loves to just move down on top of the item.
Or up if you're trying to go that way. Meanwhile, it's the final form for Volwrath. All that spreader damage coming into play. Not going to quite PB, but he's going to be awfully close.
Yep. We'll see that. Retrophile just nailing the lobbers in, trying to get the right location, but he's dancing around too much, missing, a nice majority of them. Volwrath takes it.
Yep. He'll take game number one about a 6:36, 6:37. That's a very, very good time for Volwrath. I think if he would have played Arena 1 a little bit more clean, he could have had, well, to be fair, he had, Retrophile had a spreader, didn't see the invulnerability, gets run over, and is not going to be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I just want to point out for all of those keeping track at home, that's a player that won the race, so I don't know if that makes a difference to some of y'all. I just want to point that out.
And then he gets another spreader, and again, in a player one position. I just want to point that out there. Does the game know, or does the game know?
Oh, yeah, the game likes to kick you when you're down, take that nice continue at the end to penalize you another 5+ seconds.
An ultimate form for Retrophiles. He's got a lobber in hand, followed up by rockets. Yeah, now the game. Come on, game. Haven't you done enough already to poor Retrophile?
Yeah, these are the ones that I just, even if I'm practicing no resets, I'm like, no, I don't need to drag this out for myself. Let's just move on to the next game.
Right. And look at this. Again, more insult to injury. A spreader in a prime player one spot.
Yep, but he does make use of it. He got a little bit of damage on him getting to that final form.
All right, so let's see if Retrophile can finish it off. Not with that key. There's a spread. Another spreader, another prime location. But now he really can't use it on this form. It just does the normal amount of damage. And then the shrapnel picks him off there, but he will be able to get to this lobber.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to player 2, I honestly am not sure it really matters one way or the other. I know that it technically is like 8 to 10 frames faster in the secret room if you have a foot, but I don't think that's really going to come to matter in this game.
I guess it just depends if you feel superstitious or not.
Yeah. There may be some other, benefits to it, but I think a lot of people say that spreaders pop up more on the right. I think it's just happenstance, just wherever they pop up.
I think it just likes to pop up in the opposite side that you're on. Let's just be frank about that.
Yeah.
If you would have been player 1, those spreaders would have been on player 2 side. And then you'd have the other side arguing about it.
Exactly. And that's the fun. That's why we can have this conversation about this strat until we get tired of it.
All right, so it is Volwrath taking the first game of this best of 5 elimination showdown. So I'm going to see if both runners are ready for game 2.
All righty. Again, this is brought to you by GG Speedruns, offering you big money, big prizes, and a year's supply of good meat. Go ahead and throw them some bits or some subs if you can. They put on an awesome show for us. All the work you see is by them.
I must say, I like the display that we have on the bottom where all of the different prizes from the game are scrolling. But you know me, with being the paying close attention to detail person, I noticed that we're missing two prizes. We need that home game. We need that home game, right?
Oh man, that might be my fault. I know I was personally contacted to provide a list of prizes, and I went through a couple PBs and watched for every prize that popped up, and I probably missed that one.
And there is one other one that I didn't see in the rotation. You have a VCR, of course. Back in the day, VCRs were all the rage to watch your favorite movies and whatnot. But there's no TV, also.
Oh, I know we got the Super VCR in here.
Yep, and I don't know. It's super, but I don't know if it can actually project the TV. Both runners are ready. Let me get them counted down.
All righty. So we are counting them in. We got the 3, the 2, the 1, and the go. So let's see when we see them go. Got Volwrath up by 1, but Retrophile's definitely not out of it yet. We got plenty of racing. This is Smash TV. Anything can happen.
Yeah, and Bryce, I'll give you a reminder. That's a 2,600-inch TV.
All right, chat. Someone quick. How many feet is that?
It's a lot. I do it in my head, but I got a race to call. It's well over 200 feet. Here we go. Game number 2 between Volwrath and Retrophile.
Both with the manip. Retrophile still in player 2. Just making work of it. Volwrath getting that last drop bomb. Is he going to use it? Yes.
I will tell you that it is 216 feet and 8 inches.
Awesome.
As we go into collect power-ups, it is going to be a slight edge for Volwrath, but that really doesn't mean much here. So let's find out what kind of drops these runners are going to start with. Grenades for Volwrath, foot for Retrophile. Again, nothing to write home about early on.
Yeah, both making the wise decision with the locations, just ignoring it and firing on. Volwrath getting a second helping while Retrophile dishes out the first of grenades. Both, again, ignoring it. They're not moving to force an orb.
That clubber getting dangerously close to Retrophile. There's the first decent drop, Volwrath. And now rockets for Volwrath. The rich are getting richer here. The RNG favoring the favorites, it seems.
Yeah, rockets, for those that may be new to this game, one rocket can plow through an entire row of enemies, sometimes 2 rows of enemies with just one, so it is definitely the weapon of choice here.
Now, Retrophile does get an ore, but he needs to try to gain control, and that was the end of the room. Good smart bomb use there by Retrophile. He's going to be 11 seconds back, but more importantly, he's got the orb. Now, he just got a little bit too aggressive and just ran right up against that green shirt.
Yeah, in the 2 rooms where you're surrounded at the beginning, the best is literally just to keep your thumb off the D-pad until you've secured an exit.
Exactly. We've seen that mistake happen time and time again in tournament play. So, and Volwrath getting clubbed down, and this room is out of control for him.
Yeah, Retrophile getting handed up. He still doesn't have an orb on him, but he has rockets, he has a razor shield, so it's pretty easy pickings.
It's a 219 for Volwrath. Retrophile is going to have at least one more shrapnel. That's the last one. He gained actually about 3 seconds on Volwrath, so it's down to an 8-second lead, but he made the same mistake again.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't do it. It's a lesson we all learn.
Yep, you gotta make sure that the path is clear. Now he's paying the ultimate price. Speaking of paying the ultimate price, now the orb goes into Volwrath's side.
Yep, so Volwrath can go ahead and keep this orb and keep it clean as long as Retrophile doesn't keep getting dished out rockets.
Volwrath, he was getting a little bit frisky there with that orb, but he manages to keep it. He was dancing in that bottom left corner, but he's got it intact. Some good moves there. Close call.
Still holding on to it, so it could see the edge squeaking up even more.
All right, Razor Shield for Retrophile. Again, it's solid to keep control of the middle. Now, he's able to get the rockets. He broke the rest of the shield to get to them. But again, rockets, the best weapon that you can have. Volwrath going to be first with the 326. Retrophile deciding to ignore the spot, but I might have picked it up at that point.
Yep, I probably would have to. Just to, if you're huddled in the corner getting surrounded, you might as well, and then rejoin in the middle.
And there's that swirl of shame for Retrophile, and there goes one of the shrapnels. But, Retrophile's not that far behind. He's 20 seconds back as we go into the bonus room. But Volwrath, with the advantage, has the orb. And knowing this game, he's probably going to get an opening rocket drop in this room. What did I tell you?
You called it. Oh, but as he picks it up, he runs into the mine.
Commentator's blessing, followed by commentator's curse.
Hey, it's all even then.
There you go.
All right, so Retrophile scrambling out to the exit. I don't know what he was doing there.
Yeah, I don't know either, but Retrophile's opening drop, well, he gets a smart bomb, which would have been great if he had the orb, and now he gets shot. Speaking of the orb, that's order of operations now. He's going to try to take down the gunners. Will he get to that orb? He does, and somehow, some way, is able to keep it intact. I have no idea how he did that.
Yeah, that was beautiful. It was an exercise of great patience to wait and get the orb at the right time and then just danced all around to keep it.
Now he's in trouble. He's getting a little bit swarmed. That shrapnel is surrounding him, the tanks, and still manages to keep the orb. But meanwhile, Volwrath getting rockets to go with the orb that he currently still has. So he's played a really good room here. He is going to have the lead going into the Mutoid Man fight. It is a 5-0-1. Can Retrophile? He gets to the rockets. Boy, the dancing that Retrophile has done in this room has been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, he's putting in that footwork, definitely. He's huddling in the corners, and that's why he's not really picking up the time too much, because it does slow your avenue of shooting down just because of the reduction in lanes. But
absolutely, and he's going to use that smart bomb to finish off the room and have the orb intact. I'll tell you what, he may be trailing, but that was an amazingly played room that Retrophile just had.
Absolutely, dancing from one corner to the complete opposite of the room to get the orb and then the rocket. Beautifully done.
He's definitely got a shot if the drops will cooperate. There's a lobber, but I don't think he's going to be able to get to it. It's just in a really bad location. Lobbers followed up by rockets for Volwrath. Both arms are popped. There's a spreader. That's too late. That's a long ways to go. I don't know if he's going to... Good. Very good.
Yeah, he can get it. There we go.
Vulnerability would go a long ways if he can get one. Instead, it's another spreader, it looks like. I can't tell.
Mutoid Man did the oddly cooperative thing by moving down, which gave him the free time he needed to get that spreader.
Well, whatever it was, he just parked on it at the end. It's penultimate form for Volwrath. I mean, he's starting to turn on the afterburners now.
Yeah, he's hitting them lobbers in the right spot, just keeping it calm. He's playing textbook at this point.
Yeah, the old school strats, before we knew about the spreader strats that dealt the 9 times amount of damage. I mean, Volwrath doing the old school strats, and he's landing great shots with those lobbers. Final form.
Now dishing up rockets, which you don't necessarily want to see, but on the final form, it does make it easier since they just go straight in a line.
Oh, and he gets run over. Yeah, Spreader actually goes from the best drop, speaking of which, to the worst drop in this fight. Because, again, he can't deal the damage, and it deals the least amount of damage between the 3 weapons. Because, with the grenades, you can fire them out so quick, even though they don't do as much damage as the rockets. But there it is. Volwrath is going to take game number 2 and be 1 win away from advancing to the next round of the second chance bracket.
Yeah, we have Retro. Still 2-3 forms till this is over with, but still putting in the effort, landing lobber shots where they need to be, blowing off the chest now. For those of you that don't know, even though that brown spot is gone, both head and headless, that vulnerability is still there. Yep,
and Volwrath had a Mutoid Man was just over the 2-minute barrier because he came in at just over 5, so it was a solid Mutoid Man fight. Despite the fact that he really didn't get any lobbers, or not lobbers, but spreaders, he made the lobbers ride and work for him. Retro will get the lobbers here. Could be final form if he lands enough. There's an invulnerability. He should pick that up. There he goes.
Yeah, you want to milk the lobbers and pretty much replace the missiles.
Oh, and he gets zapped by the eyes of Mutoid Man. Final form time.
Yep, this is where you can see some of the rookies have a little hard time hitting Mutoid Man. Myself, I was having a hard time with this kind of the other day. It's just he moves so quick when he's small like that that the lobbers, they're always on a delay since they're kind of falling.
And then it really gets difficult if you ever do normal or hard, because then you have the Evil MC, which is essentially a reskin Mutoid Man but with more HP, and he moves much quicker, that final form.
Yeah, and it feels like he's more aggressive sometimes too.
The Retrophile will finish just under 9 minutes. Volwrath, though, takes game number 2, 1 win away from locking it up and moving on to the next round.
Yeah, I wonder if Retrophile, I know he's in this for good fun and just having a great time, but I wonder if he's feeling any of the pressure at all. He loses this match, he goes home. The tournament's over for him. I see someone in the chat asking if the MC is evil. He is evil. He's the evil MC, but not as evil as Scarface.
But exactly, Scarface, the Arena 2 boss, yeah, can be an absolute nightmare. But this kind of ponders the question: who is more evil, the evil MC or Damon Killian?
Ooh, Killian.
Man, let's face it, Running Man, which a lot of people do suggest that Smash TV is based off of, Richard Dawson was probably one of the greatest villains back in the 80s. I mean, he played the part of Damon Killian so darn well.
Yeah, he made it very believable. I liked his performance. I liked that for those of you who may have not seen it, I won't spoil the end, but I like the end.
Not to mention that he has one of the greatest comebacks to Arnold Schwarzenegger's famous "I'll be back" quote. He says, "Only in a rerun."
Yeah, that might even be one of the only movies where someone actually has a comeback to it, too.
All right, here we go. Game number 3 between Volwrath and RetrophileTV. Our last match, perhaps our last game. Here we go. Arena 1. Both of them are going to have the Razor Shield. Let's go.
So, just the typical Arena 1 so far. Controlling the middle, getting rid of everyone as fast as you can, pretty much ignoring the drops, hoping you get a bomb at the end.
It's a foot for Volwrath. And it looks like they're pretty close. It's Retrophile by a split second.
So in to collect power-ups, of course, everyone's hunting for the orbs, the rockets, and then more rockets.
All right, let's see what the opening drop is. Look at this. RNG favoring the favorites, an opening orb drop for Volwrath. Smart bomb for Retrophile, who he's going to ignore that. Followed up by a foot, so Retrophile getting nothing in terms of... Ooh, grenades on the feet for Volwrath and able to hold on to that orb. There's...
Yeah, grenades on the feet, or grenades with the orb is never fun because of how close you kind of have to get in. Luckily, they are good at clearing a crowd, so if you are kind of close to everybody, it does do the job.
About a 124, 125 going into Eat My Shrapnel. 18 Mr. Shrapnels need to go down. Retrophile's going to find himself more than a dozen seconds back with a 139, roughly 14 seconds.
Look what Volrath's been dealing. He's got the orb, got rockets, got another helping of rockets.
Just the rich getting rich. Almost got sabotaged by that grenade, though.
Yep, Retrophile getting sniped by a shrapnel within the shrapnel. It might not cost him any time, though, because there was only 2 or 3 shrapnels in the room at the moment, so then taking the bomb just to clear it up, probably a smart bet, or safe bet, I should say.
Yeah, it does cost him a little bit of time, but in his case, it might have been worth it. 208 going into total carnage with that orb intact. Volwrath can really build onto this lead. Smart bomb, that's a solid opening drop. Regain control of the middle of the room, but he'd love to see a razor shield or some weapons. That's not the kind of weapon that he was looking for. Meanwhile, Retrophile's still stuck here in Eat My Shrapnel. That's the end of the room there, but he's going to find himself about 23 seconds back.
Yeah, in this room with Volwrath, the good thing about it is the enemies come out at such a consistent, thick rate that like you can just sit there with the orb and hammer through row after row. You don't necessarily need drops in this. It just kind of helps.
Second time grenades on the feed for Volwrath. My goodness, how he kept that orb. Ooh, he's getting overwhelmed a little bit. He's gonna get to that razor shield, however. Very good play.
Yep, saw the shrapnel piece coming, moved back left and then right again. Oh, probably thought it was the end of the room right there.
He probably thought it was too, but it is not. There's a spreader for Retrophile to go with the spreader that he already has. Volwrath going to keep his lead with the 316 into the bonus room. There's an orb replacement for Retrophile. Can he keep it?
That razor shield is going to help him keep it, at least hopefully till the end of the room. Now with spreaders basically on the feet, that should be easy cleaning for the rest of this time.
He'll be able to finish off the rest of this room, you would think. Just a couple of shrapnel guys to deal with.
Meanwhile, Volwrath is already in tank trouble.
Retrophile is able to avoid the swirl of shame, but he does find himself about a half a minute back. And there's the orb clipped by Volwrath before he could get to that smart bomb.
I'd like to point out the winner of the poll as to what happened to Buzzsaw. He had to split.
I love it. That is a really good poll question. I really do appreciate that.
So Retrophile now exiting the secret room. Volwrath losing the orb, but picking up rockets, so that'll help him clean up and get back in the center.
And again, just the RNG not favoring the underdogs for the opening drops of this room. A foot for Retrophile. Does manage to get one of the gunners down. Almost gets picked off by that tank. Doing some dancing here, trying to regain control of that middle. Is just getting overwhelmed by the purple shirts here, and that gunner still attached to the wall. But he's doing the best he can, and there he gets. Just when he had that last gunner down, that orb gets clipped.
Yeah, he was kind of playing in this weird middle ground. It's when you're doing corner strats or center strats, you sort of have to pick one or the other. If you sit in the middle, it's really dangerous. You just kind of got to pick one and go with it.
Most certainly is. A razor shield picked up by Retrophile. It was a 455 into Mutoid Man for Volwrath. So he is going to have the advantage. There's the swirl. It is down. Grenades, not a terrible drop to start. You'll have a chance to take down both of the gunners, followed up by more grenades.
Yeah, grenades or rockets, you know, they're not your preference in this room, but you're definitely, for a first drop, they actually appreciated it. It gets rid of those gunners instantly, like you said.
33 seconds back is Retrophile, so he didn't really lose that much time to Volwrath in that room. So he is at least going to have a fighting chance if he sees some spreaders. There is a lobber to start things off. That's a solid drop, but that swirl, he's got to get it. He's got to get it.
Yeah, classic mistake when you pick up the lobber before you kill the swirl, because you have to land one of those lobbers precisely on the four that are joined.
And then he got run over by Mutoid Man, but he does get a replacement lobber. There's a spreader. He recognized it. He should be able to get to it. Unfortunately, Volwrath also getting a spreader, so he's not going to really gain much on him, if anything.
Yeah, they both pop the forms at the same time. They're both popping another form at the same time. So it's kind of Volwrath even got transfer damage, so probably even more in his court.
Yeah, this is going to be game set. My goodness gracious! Yeah. How Volwrath? It was 455. It's time to do some math. He is going to be at 635. That was a 100-second Mutoid Man. That's awesome. That is really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're floating around that area, that's awesome. RNG was on your side. You played it well as well.
Wow. Just Volwrath, there's another spreader. I'll tell you, get off of it. Get off of it, Mutoid Man. Get off of it.
Let the man have it.
You dirty. Man, Retrophile, he could have PB'd with that spreader, and the game is just like,
Yeah, you know, like you've said, the game knows. It knows that Volwrath over there won, so just kick them while they're down. That's what Mutoid Man does.
Yeah, pretty much. God, it was in a good location. He would have gotten to the final form easily. No question about it.
Firing off the lobbers, missing some. Again, with that weird delayed reaction. Oh, getting clipped by shrapnel now. Just another Another way the game likes to have fun, taking the continue,
Oh,
putting in the effort to finish it.
well, it's just another day in the office for Mutoid, man. Let's face it. But I'll tell you what, if Volwrath can just clean up his Arena 1 play, I mean, you go into that room at 419. If you put that fight there, there's your sub 6.
Absolutely. I mean, 420 and under is where you need to be to just get that good Mutoid man, and you got your sub 6. So as long as you're shooting in that range, you definitely are well equipped to do it. And like I've said, like you said as well, a lot of this is all your play until Mutoid Man. So if you got that time to there, then that's all you need is that Mutoid Man.
Down goes Mutoid, man. I mean, that was a decent fight there by Retrophile, but oh, how much better that could have been if he didn't get blocked on that one spreader.